Okay, so this is my Kydex coming directly out of the mold. Notice that I put rivet hole marks and I traced out the outline. The important parts to me were the rounding of the edges. I also didn't want to include the magazine dump, and I might cut out the safety hole, the safety switch as well. So this is what it looks like so far. The gun will stick out a little bit. The edges will be rounded. There's enough space that the rivets can catch. I would like them closer to the edge than probably the average, just so where I don't have a bunch of extra material out to the sides. What I'll end up doing is through the rivet holes, I'll put screws into my mount down on the driver's side console. So if you look at that, again, that looks really good. There's a good detention here. This going over and then sucking in really good into the trigger frame will help with the retention of the gun as well. So, and also any little bumps on here will also help with the staying of the gun into the holster. So I won't have it upside down or anything. I'll also have it like at an angle so where it's easy to grab. So I literally just grab and go. I wanted enough cutout here that I could grab around this with my fingers as I pull it out. That way it's already going live. One of the most important things with grabbing a gun out of a holster is to have a really close grip to what your normal grip is. If not, have a perfect grip on your gun before it even comes out. So that would help with the quick draw, because you don't want to be shuffling in the heat of battle or whatever the case may be. So that's where I'm at so far. Nothing but a little white water-soluble pencil. This stuff wipes off of this, so I'll have no problem with cleanup. So what I'm doing now is, here's the holster. I've already put 2 rivets in. I basically clamped it where I wanted it, lined up this edge since it was more critical, and just because I had extra waste down here, it didn't matter, but up here I kind of wanted to keep it like it was, and I just I only have to take off a little bit of material. So I put in the first rivet, no problem. Took off the clamps, lined this up by hand, drilled through, put in the second rivet, and before I put in these, I actually want to just test fit my gun. So in that way, whenever I drill these, it doesn't randomly like push up with the material, and I get a bad fit or anything. So I want to do this next drill, like this next one, with my gun in place. So what I've been doing is just down here, scrap piece of wood, and just gonna make it a little tight and drill through. So there's a little extra material this time, which there really wasn't much. I could peel off my fingers before. So just take a knife or something and scrape it out so it gets out real easy. Good enough. So what I'm doing is taking a rivet. I'm pushing them from this side through, the prettier side, so I'll keep the prettier side of the rivets lined up. And then pushing the rivet through. Now some people have like a hand crimp. I ended up buying this little jig from knifekits.com. Basically these line up and go in. It goes through a little bit too much. They sell it with a separate holder that's like $12, but they were out of stock, so I'm making do right now, and it's fine right now. But I'll probably gonna get the jig. So what I'm doing is using this piece of wood to prevent the point from going into the vise, tearing it up or anything. So I don't need the gun in here while I do this part because the holes are already lined up. And basically that's going there. This is going there. And it takes me a second to get it in place. I've already oiled it up once, just used some stuff I use in my paintball guns. Just a little bit of oil, since you're just like extruding metal. And this is why I'd want the jig, for no other reason than it would line these two pieces up perfectly without even having to guess. So, there we go. So as I tighten up this vise, it will also tighten up this rivet. Yeah, that's better. So that's the next rivet. And I'll put 2 more here and 2 more here, and I'll come back. So this is the holster so far. I vacuum formed this side, and this side's just a standard plate, standard piece. So you can see the gun would fit in. This way, there's enough room here that your finger can go through. I'll probably end up cutting into that a little bit more. And I'll probably heat this up with a heat gun and flare this a little bit to open it up. So when you go to put in your gun, you don't have to like line it up exactly. You can kind of just hit the general area and then it'll just fit in where it should. So I'll probably be doing that in the next few minutes. I used, to cut out everything, I just basically used some tin snips. And just really carefully, it works easy if you just nib it basically. So just kind of nib through where I needed to. These 2 pieces, I kind of want to follow each other. I'll finish sanding them really good. And I don't care if it's perfect, it just has to be functional. That's the main thing. I'm going to be looking at it from this angle most of the time, you know. It'll be down by my feet, by my knee, whatever. So I'll just basically be able to grab and pull if I need to. Alright, so here we are currently. This is what I've ended up with so far. This angle back here is where I'm going to take a little bit more off. But just wanted to show you how far I've gotten. I still need to sand down with the 120 grit, but it's got the 60 grit initial sanding. So yeah, I just need to attack that. Like I said, I fluted those out, so it's kind of curved both ways, and I can easily, you know, holster the gun. It's got a little bit of a clicking action right there at the end. I might tighten that up just a little bit. Gun doesn't easily come out, but it pulls out. So I might tighten that up just a hair since I'm taking so much off the back side. So, and again, this is just where when I grab it, you can see my thumb hits right here. So I want to take out that extra material when I grab. Same thing on this side. You can see that's part of my grab. So I don't want that fluted out there. So I'll just shave it back. And that doesn't take away from any of my contact points. My main contact points that are holding this in place are probably right in here, and the ridging that's on those, I don't really have anything on the other side, so, but that's where I sit right now. If I wanted to, I could heat this up and push this in and make it grip a little bit, but I don't see the need for it. We'll see whenever I mount it in the car, if I need to bend it at all to get it to fit that odd shape. I'm not mounting it up against a wall, so, you know, or a brick or anything like that, so, but yeah. Alright, so I just want to show you what it looks like whenever I do this, you know, the Dremel. I've just got a round sand drum on here. This is a 60 grit, so it's very rough, very coarse. I've only got this set to 15, whatever that is, 10 or 15. I don't even know what that stands for. But that's the speed on my Dremel, 4000. I'm doing this at night, so there's a light on my head as well. And just to give you a little better vision. And so yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and sand this, and you'll see how easy this is. I could cut this excess material, but this stuff chips away really quick. Doing it inside a cardboard box just to keep some of the extra spill going from going away. Okay, so that feels a whole lot more comfortable now, gripping it. The meat of my palm can actually hit the gun, and I can get a good seat. So if I can wrap it and grab, no problem. This is still hitting me a little bit, not enough that I'd want to take out that rivet or anything to yank off that material, but I'll just make sure I sand that really nicely, and I might even put a little bit of material to soften that up. I got this stuff called Sugru. It's kind of like silicone almost, but it's like a putty. So I might put that right there just to, if my knuckle does hit it, it's hitting something soft instead of plastic, and a hard plastic at that. That'll work. So what I did was, this is the side I molded, this is the side I didn't. Notice this is depressed right here, goes down. What I did is, while this was out, just heated this area with the heat gun, made sure it was like 180 to 200, and then put my gun in and physically pressed into the mold. And then I also took a screwdriver while this edge was hot and bent it out just a little bit, so where it's not going to catch, so it's not going to dig into the front of the gun right there. Even if I rock it a little bit, it's really hard to get it to hit that. So might fine tune a little bit more, but that is the major majority of the issue. So bam, in place, good holster. So this could easily be on a belt with some belt buckles, but I'm going to have it in my vehicle. So this will, it's work in progress. It's nice to be able to make something. Oh, why couldn't you just buy it? It's $80 if you buy this. $80 for all my setup. Of course, I already have certain tools, but it's a nice thing. Once you have certain tools for one project, you have tools for other projects. So that's what they are, they're tools. So I like that. And there's my product.